Good morning, You Can Heal family. Welcome back to First Chronicles. Today we're starting out with chapter 8, the genealogy of Benjamin. My name's Shena, and thank you for tuning in. It says the sons of Benjamin in order of age included Bela the oldest, Ashbel, Araha, Noha, Rapha, and Rapha. The sons of Bela were Adair, Gerar, Abihud, Abishua, Naaman, Ahoah, Jerah, Shephufan, and Huram. The sons of Ehud, leaders of the clans living at Geba, were driven out and moved to Manahath. Ehud's sons were Naaman, Ahijah, and Jerah. Jerah, the father of Uzzah, and Ehud led them when they moved. Verse 8, after Sharim divorced his wives Yushim and Berar, he had children in the land of Moab. Hodesh, his new wife, gave birth to Jobab, Zibiah, Mesha, Malcham, Jehuz, Sakiah, and Mirmah. These sons all became the leaders of the clans. Sharim's wife Yushim had already given birth to Abitub and Elbal. Oh my God, sorry. The sons of Elphal were Abir, Misham, Shemed, who built Ono and Lod and their villages, Beriah and Shema. They were the leaders of the clans living in Ajalon, and they drove out the inhabitants of Gath. Verse 14. Ahoi, Shazak, Jermoth, Zebediah, Arad, Adir, Makal, Ishpa, and Joha were the sons of Beriah. Zebediah, Mushallam, Hizki, Abir, Ishmerai, Isliai, and Jobab were the sons of Elpal. Jakim, Zikri, Zabdi, Eliniah, Zelothai, Eliel, Ediah, Beriah, and Shimra were the sons of Shimei. Eshvan, Eber, Eliel, Abnon, Zechri, Hanan, Hananiah, Elam, Onothah, Thiha, Ephadiah, and Uniel were the sons of Shashak. Shamshirai, Shahariah, Athaliah, Jarishai, Elijah, and Zechri were the sons of Jeraham. These were the leaders of the ancestral clans, and they were listed in their tribal genealogy. They all lived in Jerusalem. Jeiel, the father of Gibeon, lived in Gibeon. His wife's name was Maacah, and his oldest son was named Abdon. Jael's other sons were Zur, Kish, Baal, Ner, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zechariah, and Mikloth, who was the father of Shemeam. All these families lived near each other in Jerusalem. Ner was the father of Kish, and Kish was the father of Saul. Saul was the father of Jonathan, Malchishua, Abadab, and Ishbal. Jonathan was the father of Meribel. Meribel was the father of Micah, and Micah was the father of Python, Melech, Tarier, and Ahaz. Ahad was the father of Jada, and Jada was the father of Elmeth, Azmapheth, and Zimri. Zimri was the father of Mosa, and Mosa was the father of Baniah. Baniah was the father of Rephahiah, and Rephahiah was the father of Elisah. Elisah was the father of Azel. Azel had 6 sons: Azrikam, Bokaru, Ishmael, Shariah, Obadiah, and Hanan. These were the sons of Azel. Azel's brothers Eshek and their 3 sons, Ulam the oldest, Jehush the second, and Elphalet the third. The sons of Ulam were all skilled warriors and expert archers. They had many sons and grandsons, 150 in all. All these were descendants of Benjamin. All right, that concludes chapter 8. But I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 9 and put these names behind me. So Let's keep going, you guys. The genealogy of the 12 tribes who returned, chapter 9 of First Chronicles. All Israel was listed in the genealogical record in the book of the kings of Israel. The people of Judah were exiled to Babylon because they were unfaithful to the Lord. The first to return to their property in their former towns were common people. With them came some of the priests, Levites, and temple assistants. People from the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh came and settled in Jerusalem. One family that returned was that of Uttai, son of Ammihud, son of Omri, son of Imri, son of Bani, a descendant of Perez, son of Judah. Others returned from the Shilonite clan, including Uzziah the oldest and his sons. From the Zerahite clan, Joel returned with his relatives. In all, 690 families from the tribe of Judah returned. From the tribe of Benjamin came Salu, son of Meshullam, son of Hovadavai, son of Hazanuah, Abinai, son of Joraham, Elah, son of Uzai, son of Mikri, Meshullam, son of Shephatiah, son of Reuel, son of Ibaniah. These men were all leaders of clans, and they were listed in their tribal genealogy. In all, 956 families from the tribe of Benjamin returned. The genealogy of the priests who returned. Among the priests who returned were Jedediah, Jerarib, Jachin, Azariah, son of Hilkiah, son of Meshullam, son of Zadok, son of Merioth, son of Ahitub. Azariah was the chief officer of the house of God. Other returning priests were Adiah, son of Jerhom, son of Pashur, son of Malchiah, and Maaseiah, son of Adiel, son of Jehuzari, son of Meshullam, son of Meshulemeth, son of Amir. In all, 1,760 priests returned. They were heads of the clans and very able men. They were responsible for ministering at the house of God. The next section is the genealogy of the Levites who returned, verse 14. The Levites who returned were Shemaiah, son of Hashub, son of Azrikam, son of Hashabiah, a descendant of Merari, Bakbakar, Irash, Galal, Mattaniah, son of Micah, son of Zikri, son of Asaph, Obadiah, son of Shemaiah, son of Galal, son of Jeduthun, and Berkiah, son of Asa, son of Elkanah, who lived in the area of Netophaah. The gatekeepers who returned were Shallum, Akub, Talaman, Ahiman, and their relatives. Shallum was the chief gatekeeper. Prior to this time, they were responsible for the king's gate on the east side. These men served as gatekeepers for the camps of the Levites. Shallum was the son of Korah, a descendant of Abasaph from the clan of Korah. He had relatives. The Korahites were responsible for guarding the entrance to the sanctuary, just as their ancestors had guarded the tabernacle in the camp of the Lord. Phinehas, son of Eleazar, had been in charge of the gatekeepers in earlier times, and the Lord had been with him. And later, Zechariah, son of Meshelemiah, had been responsible for guarding the entrance to the temple. In all, there were 212 gatekeepers in those days, and they were listed by genealogies in their villages. David and Samuel the seer had appointed their ancestors because they were reliable men. These gatekeepers and their descendants, by their divisions, were responsible for guarding the entrance to the house of the Lord, the house that was formerly a tent. The gatekeepers were stationed on all four sides, east, west, north, and south. From time to time, their relatives in the villages came to share their duties for 7-day periods. The 4 chief gatekeepers, all Levites, were in an office of great trust, for they were responsible for the rooms and treasuries at the house of God. They would spend the night around the house of God, since it was their duty to guard it. It was also their job to open the gates every morning. Some of the gatekeepers were assigned to care for the various utensils used to worship. They checked them in and out to avoid any loss. Others were responsible for the furnishings, the items in the sanctuary, and the supplies such as choice flour, wine, olive oil, incense, and spices. But it was the priest who prepared the spices and incense. Merahiah, a Levite, and the oldest son of Shallum the Korite, was entrusted with baking the bread used in the offerings. And some members of the clan of Kohath were in charge of preparing the bread to be set on the table each Sabbath day. The musicians, all prominent Levites, lived at the temple. They were exempt from other responsibilities there, since they were on duty at all hours. All these men lived in Jerusalem. They were the heads of Levite families and were listed as prominent leaders in their tribal genealogy. The genealogy of Saul, verse 35. Jael, the father of Gibeon, lived in Gibeon. His wife's name was Maacah, and his oldest son was named Abdon. Jael's other sons were Zur, Kish, Baal, Ner, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zechariah, and Mikloth. Mikloth was the father of Shimeam. All these families lived near each other in Jerusalem. Ner was the father of Kish, and Kish was the father of Saul. Saul was the father of Jonathan, Malchishua, Abadab, and Ishbaal. Jonathan was the father of Meribal. Meribal was the father of Micah. The sons of Micah were Python, Melech, Tathriah, and Ahaz. Ahad was the father of Judah, and Judah was the father of Elameth, Asmapheth, and Zimri. Zimri was the father of Moza. Moza was the father of Beniah, and Beniah's son was Rephaiah. Rephaiah's son was Eleazar, and Eleazar's son was Azel. Azel had 6 sons, and their names were Azrikam, Bokaru, Ishmael, Sherihiah, Obadiah, and Hanan. These were the sons of Azel. All right, you can heal family. That concludes chapter 9. Thank God we did it. I think we're out of all the genealogies now, and I just want to give God the glory for getting me through those names. I'm just flipping the pages. It looks like verse 11. We've got to endure some more. But for the most part, praise you, the Lord, I think we're in the clear. Mimi tried to warn me, so I do thank her for that. So let's give God the praise and the glory. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll start with 1 Chronicles chapter 10, the house of Saul dies in battle. That's how the chapter is going to begin. Always remember, true healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God is love, and he lives on the inside of you. And hey, listen, don't let anyone tell you there's nothing you can't do, because after reading through 9 chapters of all those names, I can do probably just about anything, and so can you. Praise God. We'll be back tomorrow. Love ya. Bye.